Pete Buttigieg is pissed. He just slammed our new and terrible Transportation Secretary, Sean Duffy, over his seeming lack of interest around what happened with yesterday's Delta flight that crashed in Toronto. It was an American flight crashing in Canada. So the Transportation Secretary 100% should have been aware and updating the American people on what happened. Instead, he was attacking the former Transportation Secretary on his official account. Absolutely disgusting. And while that was all going on, as planes are falling from the sky, this is the 8th crash under Sean Duffy. Sean Duffy was using our tax dollars for a photo op.
All right, we're about to get on Air Force One. I got Patrick and John Paul. There's just the back end of it. Heading up to Daytona for the 500. Suit and tie, beautiful day. Hope the rain stays out. But these guys, first time in Air Force One, the president is about to get here, so we're gonna get on.
All right, whatever. Can barely hear him, but Jason Buttigieg had a really interesting thought about that moment that I want to share with you right now. I remember when Fox absolutely melted when a certain secretary took a family member on a presidential delegation. Let's see how this one plays out. And yeah, Pete Buttigieg was confronted because he took his husband on an overseas trip. Yeah. Meanwhile, you have Sean Duffy doing this shit with these family members that going to the Daytona 500 on taxpayer dollars. You know, I honestly wasn't going to play this clip, but let's watch it because I actually think it's going to be really healing. So let's just watch this clip of Pete Buttigieg destroying this Fox host over that hypocrisy.
You also brought your husband, Chasten, on a military aircraft to attend a sporting event in Netherlands. Was that
That's quite a spin to put on.
No. But I mean, was that reimbursed? Because that was one of the controversies with Price.
I led a presidential delegation to support American wounded warriors and injured service members, the Invictus Games, as has been tradition for many years. I led the American delegation as one of the great honors of my time in this job. And the diplomatic protocol on a presidential delegation is that the principal is often accompanied by their spouse. It was a great trip. It was incredible. It was also a few weeks into the Ukraine war. So we had a chance at the U.S. Embassy to engage with the Ukrainian competitors, also wounded service members. Some of them went from the games back to the battlefield to fight for their country. I also took the opportunity to sit with the Prime Minister of the Netherlands to look at port infrastructure, Dutch port infrastructure. But here's what I want you to understand. Before me, it was the Secretary of the Army under President Trump who took that trip with his wife. Before that, it was Mrs. Trump as First Lady who went to the Invictus Games. Before that, Mrs. Obama did the same thing.
Sure.
And I guess the question on my mind is, if no one's raising questions about why Secretary Esper and his wife led that delegation, and as well they should have, then why is it any different when it's me and my husband?
Understood. So the last...
He's like, oh, okay, yes, I'm sorry, please stop talking to me. I'm so sorry. All right, let's move on and let's just talk about what happened really quick on that flight because it looks like it was strong winds that mainly led to that flight crashing. There were 76 on board, and thankfully there have been no casualties. And when you see this video of the plane crashing, it's actually stunning that nothing worse happened. And because it happened in Canada, we actually know what happened because the Transportation Safety Board of Canada was going to be investigating, not the Federal Aviation Administration. I hate to say it, but American investigators can't be trusted at this moment. And here is footage of that crash.
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, no. Tower, you're seeing this airplane just crash into three.
No one died.
Oh my God.
No one died. There weren't even any serious injuries from what I've read. So this is incredible. This is incredible. Here's what Pete had to say about that. He said, whatever else emerges in time about the Delta crash in Canada One thing is certain, the importance of amazing professionalism of flight attendants who safely evacuated the plane in a matter of seconds. That is like what transportation secretaries are supposed to tweet. That's what they're supposed to tweet. Here's what he said yesterday, which I think is a good question. The flying public needs answers. How many FAA personnel were just fired? What positions and why? Yeah, I want to know what's going on in our fucking skies, to be honest. And you know what? Pete's writing this really eloquent way of lifting up the professionalism of flight attendants, the people who put themselves in danger to make sure everyone gets safe. And what does Sean Duffy do? This is his communication to the American people. It is a slam on Pete. He goes, now this is all propaganda, but I'm going to read it. Mayor Pete failed for 4 years to address the air traffic control shortage and upgrade our outdated World War II era traffic control system. In less than 4 weeks, we have already begun the process and are engaging the smartest minds in the entire world. Here's the truth. The FAA alone has a staggering 45,000 employees. Less than 400 were let go, and they were all probationary, meaning they had been hired less than a year ago. 0 air traffic controllers and critical safety personnel were let go. Mayor Pete chose to use this amazing department that is so critical to America's success as a slush fund for the Green News scam. What an environmental justice nonsense. Not to mention that over 90% of the workforce under his leadership were working from home, including him. The building was empty. Okay. Okay. Well, whatever. As Aaron Rupar said, and this is such a good point, grows to use an official account for crude personal attacks, political attacks. But the bottom line is, and this is a fact, no matter what happens the next 3.9 years, Sean Duffy's aviation safety record will be much worse than Pete Buttigieg. Yeah. Yeah. So y'all, Secretary Sean Duffy, you can complain all you want about how he was running stuff, and I'm not even sure how much of this is true. My guess would be not much of it. But the fact of the matter is, what he was doing was working, because planes weren't falling out of the sky. They were doing what they were supposed to do, flying from point A to point B without landing and killing. And that's something he failed to do. So maybe it's not about DEI. Maybe we need DEI. Otherwise, we DIE, die.